Hey guys, BTR Plumbing here, and today I am here with one of my recently acquired 2019 Kohler Highcliff Ultra toilet. I actually found this toilet not too far from my house. It was sitting outside of a building right next to a dumpster full of a bunch of other garbage and stuff, and I guess they were renovating the place and they were throwing this out, so I decided to pick it up. The exterior is a little dirty just because I haven't cleaned it up yet, but the interior of the bowl is in really good shape. It's no glaze damage, no scratches, chips, or anything like that. So my guess is the place probably closed down soon after this was installed, because the place, I've driven by this place many times and it's never been open. And then one day when I was driving by it, sure enough, there was this thing sitting outside, so I decided to go up and grab it. Again, this is a 2019. I don't know if y'all remember, I actually used to have a Kohler Welcome Ultra, but unfortunately about 2 years ago, it froze and broke. But now I've got storage units to keep my fixtures dry, so I don't have to worry about these things freezing anymore. Thank goodness. And I'm glad I was able to find a Highcliff Ultra. I almost bought another Welcome Ultra just because they're only like 140 bucks, but I decided not to because I'd probably find one somewhere, and sure enough, almost 2 years later, I got one. So I'm glad I didn't end up buying one. Unfortunately, I only have a 1.28 diaphragm. I found a 1.6 right here, but this thing is in rough shape and it just continuously flushes. So for now, I will only be able to test toilets that are low flow like this, that can function on 1.28. And I also have a 3.5 diaphragm, and I know exactly where it's at too. So I will be able to make 3.5 videos too, especially with the older fixtures, but I won't be able to turn the pressure up on this too much, because again, I used all my good parts for my house when I was building it, and I'm just fine. These parts that I'm using here are literally just from probably 10 other flushometers, and I just took all those parts off the other flushometers and made one work. Again, this control stop is in really, really bad shape, and I can't really turn up and down the pressure. I don't know if y'all can see, but the spot where you're supposed to turn it up and down with the flathead screwdriver is completely worn out. And again, that's because this thing has been used for my flushometer setup for about 6 or 7 years, but the tank is just about completely full. I'm actually not too sure of how turned up the pressure is, but here is a flush. Obviously it is on 1.28, so the flush is pretty short. And I also almost forgot to show y'all, but here is the date on the bowl. Hopefully y'all can see that. It should be pretty visible, but it is 2019. And that flush actually didn't seem super powerful, so I'm gonna try to turn it up a little bit here. It's easy to turn the pressure up, but turning it back down, it's almost impossible just because of how hard it is to turn it, again, because it's just so wore out in there. And that's also part of the reason it's leaking everywhere. But now that I got the pressure turned up a little bit, let's see if it has a much better flush. That is definitely a much better flush, but it also lifted the flushometer up. And I don't want that thing to lift up and spray everything, so it's gonna be kind of hard to do here. Maybe I can kind of get it on video. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to set my phone down to turn this pressure down a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep spinning it and getting nowhere over here, so. Alrighty, let's see how this does. I was able to turn it just a little bit, about a half turn, so hopefully I can flush it and this flushometer doesn't lift up. So you can see there's a little bit of air bubbles coming out. Again, this gasket is, I don't even know how old, and it's not squishy. It's very hard. So I'm surprised it's not even spraying everywhere, but I guess that's enough pressure to get a good flush without it lifting up the flushometer. But here's another flush from more of a close-up or front angle. I've always actually really liked these toilets. At first, when I saw them, the trapway design kind of reminded me of like an American Standard Madeira, but obviously it's not. Maybe Kohler copied off of American Standard. I'm actually not too sure, but overall this seems like a good design. I rarely see these things clog unless they have really weak pressure. I mean, I filmed a couple in gas stations that just siphon because there's not enough pressure to have a full blowout flush, but on high pressure, these things seem to be pretty good, and they also have fairly large glazed trapways as well. Also, I have tested it. I can't do it on this video, but if I put all my weight on the flushometer, turn the pressure up quite a bit, it actually has a swirl to it. Again, once I get this whole flushometer messy mishap thing that I have built over here all fixed, I'll go back and refilm some of these fixtures. But here is another flush. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave y'all's comments down below, and I will see y'all in my next flushometer video. Bye.